All right, everybody, Crime Stoppers is here. Sergeant Paul Tapao with the Guam Crime Stoppers program, and GPD is here. Sarge, I know you're a big football guy. You played for many years. I actually used to watch you. You were really good.
Hey, thanks, man. You know, it's just nostalgic memories and everything. And yes.
But of course, the pinnacle for our sport is Super Bowl Sunday, which because of time difference is Super Bowl Monday here. But now in your role with GPD, I'm sure that's a very dicey time because
it is.
Going on.
Absolutely. And you know, again, I want to commend on how spot on you are and where we go with this, and let's segue into, you know, how we can actually understand the importance of what not to do on Super Bowl Monday. And, you know, we do know the fact that it's widely celebrated through the island with all the adult beverages that are going to be served and stuff. And, you know, it's the daytime. It's a work day. It's a school day. And where
not for everybody.
Well, you know, I mean, for the fortunate few. But what I want to touch bases is, you know, Super Bowl here on Guam is compared to that of New Year's Eve, you know, with the heavy consumption of alcohol, and how we as a community really do need to understand the importance that we make when we actually just take the time to designate a responsible sober driver for that day. I mean, if you're going to plan for the chips and dips and all the spread on the table, at least plan for a designated driver that day, because, you know, we do know for a fact, based on statistics and what I've you know, my experience with highway patrol, the end result are the roads are going to be littered with, you know, people coming off from school. Pedestrians will be utilizing the roadways with, you know, just various spots in Tumon, and of course the people that will be ending their Super Bowl celebration. So it's a dicey time. You're absolutely correct, and you know, we want to start of the year. We've had you know, fatalities that were just beyond measure last year, so we want to start off the right note, and you know, please plan accordingly. Get a designated driver.
Now I got to ask you, in your experience, and again, drawing from your work with the highway patrol, what does GPD see in terms of how people consume alcohol and when people really get crazy when they party? When the game is an absolute blowout, like say the 49ers blowing out the Broncos way back, when the game is really close and it's really tight.
Like when the Steelers beat Arizona.
There you go. Or when, you know, the game is kind of like, you know, so up until the very end.
We don't have a gauge in that, but we do have a gauge in the people that are off and the people that.
And of course, you have to mention the Steelers.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, I mean, and a serious note, I mean, I could speak for, you know, just estimate of what I encountered while working on a Super Bowl day. I just sharing with some of the guys that I arrested a guy for DUI. He blew a .289. I got him for speeding, going over 90 miles per hour.
Whoa.
Route 1. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and his excuse or his reasons were he was late to pick up his daughter at school. And man, if that doesn't hit home of what's going to be out there and what to expect, please reflect back in 2018 and take note of all our fatalities that we've encountered, more especially our auto pedestrian crashes, because, you know, again, you know, we're asking people to come out and patronize the bars, you know, nothing against that, but really, if you are going to celebrate the Super Bowl and you are going to root for your favorite team and you are going to consume adult beverages, please designate a responsible sober driver for that day. Between New Year's Eve and Super Bowl Monday on Guam, it really is a trying time for everybody because, again, people are working, people are still in school. You're going to have pedestrians, you're going to have buses going to be out and about at the time the game concludes and everything. And we want to make sure that everybody who shares the roads on our island are safe.
Plus, I've always said, you know, it's going to be a really good game, especially this year. We got two really high-octane teams. Why would you want to drink and basically forget about the game?
Yeah, it's expected. You know, I mean, it just comes with the territory. I mean, I grew up admiring the teams that made it to the Super Bowl, but also, you know, I've been a part of the adult celebration that comes with every Super Bowl Monday that we celebrate here in this island. But, you know, I guess growing up, you know, there's a sense of maturity that actually is instilled in me when I realized that there's more responsibility now as an adult. And being adult, you know, we are able to make responsible choices. We teach that to our kids, you know. Good decision making, it should really start from the parent. I mean, there's nothing wrong with celebrating, and I want to, you know, cap it at that. Please designate a responsible sober driver.
Okay, I want to get your picks in just a moment, but what do we got for crime of the week?
This week is a robbery that happened at the Paseo Loop. You know, it's involving one of our tourists and everything, but please listen to the detail, and if anybody has information, utilize the Guam Crime Stoppers in providing that information.
All right, here's a 411.
On Sunday, January 27, at around 6:21 in the evening,
Officers from the Higganyo Precinct Command entertained a robbery complaint that occurred at the Paseo Lupe in Higganyo. Now, the preliminary investigation suggests that a bearded male local with a medium build, wearing a gray long-sleeve shirt and khaki shorts, and was wielding a machete, had jumped into the rear passenger of a car and demanded money from the occupants. The suspects were able to obtain cash from the victims and was seen fleeing on foot towards the Chamorro village. And the Guam Crime Stoppers is reaching out to the community for their help in reference to this case. If anyone has any information about this crime or any other crime, you can call our 24-hour hotline at 477-HELP, that's 4357, or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All calls will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
Okay, Sarge, we got to go really quickly, but of course, you are a fan of the Steel Curtain, Terrible Towel. You go all the way back to Mean Joe Green, Franco Harris.
Defense wins games. And,
there you go.
Offense wins games, defense wins championships.
That having been said, who do you got?
I got the Rams on this, and I got a really low-scoring game, 24-17 Rams. Defense is going to prevail. I foresee them interrupting that number 11 guy from the Patriots. Edelman, you know,
he's a scrappy dude.
Yeah, and also the run game, but you know, 24-17 is my pick and everything, and good luck to everybody. And you know, let's please again, you know, if we can be responsible, this is the moment where you exercise your sense of responsibility by designating a super job.
All right, thanks so much, Paul.
Thanks.
And you made our camera guy Marcus really happy. He lived in LA for a while. He's got family out there, right, Marcus?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, everybody, we'll see you after this.